There's a quiet moment some men don't talk about, the one where they find themselves standing in the grocery store, eyes scanning rows of fruit and wondering if any of it could actually make a difference, not in some vague, feel-good health kind of way, but in a real, deeply personal way. Could something here actually help me feel like myself again? Not just more energized or less tired, but more connected, more confident, more like the man who used to feel that warm current of blood flow and readiness down there, not on command, not always with fanfare, but effortlessly, naturally. If you're over 50 and feel like that part of your life is slipping further away, you're not imagining it, and you're certainly not alone. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be this way? I'm Dr. Maya Kapoor, and today we're going to talk about something surprisingly simple, something you walk by every week: fruit, not exotic powders, not synthetic pills with risky side effects, just humble, delicious fruit that, when eaten with intention, can gently, steadily bring life back to the part of your body you might have stopped believing in. Because beneath the quiet frustrations many older men carry, there's often one root cause: compromised blood flow. And circulation, as it turns out, begins on your plate. If you're ready for something natural, something gentle but effective, keep listening. I'll walk you through 3 powerful fruits you can start eating today. Fruits that boost testosterone, support hormone balance, and help restore your body's natural rhythm for erections, confidence, and vitality. Let's start with the one most men walk past without a second thought: pomegranate. I like to call it nature's nitric oxide booster. Why? Because this crimson jewel-like fruit is packed with compounds that restore blood vessel health, especially the inner lining, something called the endothelium. Think of your endothelium as the command center of circulation. When it's strong and flexible, it signals your blood vessels to relax and open, allowing oxygen-rich blood to flow exactly where it's needed, including the penis. Erections, at their core, are a circulatory event. Blood flows in, tissues expand, oxygen delivers sensation. But when circulation is sluggish, you lose that firmness, that sensitivity, that confidence. And pomegranates help turn that story around. Studies have shown that the antioxidants in this fruit, particularly punicolagon, help repair years of damage caused by stress, poor diet, smoking, even just the slow wear of time. What I love most about this fruit isn't just the science, it's the emotional shift I see in men who eat it regularly. Firmer morning erections, improved sensation, less frustration, and above all, a quiet return of something far more powerful than performance: hope. I've had patients who started sipping pure pomegranate juice daily or adding seeds to their salads. After a few weeks, they came back with a new spark, not a magic fix, but a steady return to something that once felt out of reach. Because here's what many men over 50 need to hear. This isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about waking up what's still there. And when you nourish yourself with something so simple, so natural, you're sending yourself a message: I still care, I still show up. And that message alone can be healing. So the next time you see a pomegranate, don't just see fruit. See fuel, see potential, one bite at a time. Now, let's talk about the second fruit, one that's tiny, often underestimated, but absolutely mighty: blueberries. If pomegranates are the engine oil for your blood vessels, blueberries are the spark plugs for your nerves. After 50, your nervous system doesn't fire the way it used to. The tiny nerve endings in your feet, hands, and yes, the penis begin to dull. Messages like pleasure, arousal, even touch start arriving late or not at all. That disconnect can be confusing. You still want it, you still try, but your body's response feels distant, delayed, or muted. Blueberries help restore that connection. They're packed with flavonoids and anthocyanins, compounds proven to protect and repair nerve endings, enhance signal flow, and support the entire pathway between your brain and your body. I've had men over 60 tell me they were ready to give up on intimacy entirely. Then they started a simple habit, a bowl of blueberries with breakfast. Within weeks, they noticed a shift, not just physically, but mentally. Sharper thinking, brighter mood, a deeper presence in their own skin. One man, Harold, told me, "Dr. Kapoor, I didn't realize how disconnected I'd become until I started feeling again." That's the power of food that speaks directly to your biology. When you reduce inflammation, repair damaged nerves, and bring oxygen back to areas that have been quietly fading, your body listens, it responds, and it remembers. Blueberries are easy to add into your routine. Blend them into a smoothie, sprinkle them on oatmeal, eat them frozen straight from the bag. However you choose to include them, just be consistent. Because that handful of berries, it's not just a snack. It's a step toward reconnecting with the version of yourself you thought was gone. Which brings me to the third fruit, a fruit that's sweet, refreshing, and surprisingly powerful. Watermelon. Most men think of it as a summer treat, but watermelon holds a secret that could change everything: citrulline. This amino acid, found in abundance in watermelon, especially the white rind, converts to arginine in your body, which then fuels nitric oxide. Remember that term? Nitric oxide is the chemical that tells your blood vessels to relax, expand, and allow more blood to flow. In other words, watermelon quietly encourages your body to do what erectile medications attempt to force. The difference? Watermelon works with your system, not against it. I've seen men who added watermelon into their mornings, just a few slices on an empty stomach, and felt results in days. Not because it's magic, but because their bodies were finally given what they needed: hydration, amino acids, and circulatory support. Watermelon also hydrates you deeply, over 90% water. And hydration is crucial. Dehydration thickens your blood, shrinks your vessels, and makes circulation harder. That leads to fatigue, brain fog, and yes, weaker erections. So when you eat watermelon, especially first thing in the day, you're not just feeding yourself, you're flushing your system. You're clearing the path for energy, oxygen, and arousal to return. And here's something else: the act of carving a slice, sitting down, and truly savoring it. That's a ritual, a pause, a moment of care. And those moments matter. They tell your body and your mind that you're still in the game, that this part of your life, your pleasure, your presence, still matters, because it does. And watermelon, humble as it may seem, is a powerful ally in reminding you of that. Now, maybe you're wondering, should I really eat all three of these fruits every single day? The answer is yes and no. You can. They're safe. They're nourishing. And taken together, they complement one another beautifully. But the real key isn't perfection, it's rhythm. Maybe your morning starts with a handful of blueberries tossed into your oatmeal. Maybe your lunch includes a fresh salad with pomegranate seeds glistening like rubies. And after dinner, instead of dessert, you reach for a few juicy slices of watermelon, rind and all. That's not a diet. That's not a chore. That's care. That's consistency. And that consistency builds something inside you, a quiet return of vitality, one meal at a time. These fruits aren't just improving blood flow to one area, they're supporting your entire system, your heart, which relies on nitric oxide, to beat efficiently, Your brain, which uses antioxidants to stay clear and focused. Your hormones, which need the right nutrients to keep testosterone production steady. Your blood vessels, which depend on daily hydration and inflammation control. When you add these fruits to your life with intention, you're not just fueling erections, you're fueling the man you still are, the man you can still feel like. I've worked with men who were convinced they were too far gone. That age had taken something they'd never get back. But once they started eating like their vitality still mattered, everything began to shift. That shift doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't come in a pill bottle. It comes from real food, real choice, a moment in the morning where you say, I'm not giving up, not on this, not on myself. Because what you choose to eat in the first hour after waking sets the tone for your day. That hour when your blood vessels are most responsive, when your muscles are begging for fuel, when your hormones are waiting for a signal, that's your golden window. Miss it, and you're playing catch up. Honor it, and your body rewards you. Better energy, better focus, and yes, better performance. But let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just about biology. This is about identity. You've spent decades being a provider, a protector, a partner, and somewhere along the way, maybe no one told you this part was still yours to protect too. Maybe no one told you that feeling strong, confident, and connected wasn't just allowed. It was essential, especially now. Because here's the truth most men never hear. You don't lose your vitality because of age. You lose it when you stop believing it's still yours to care for. And the longer you wait to listen to your body, the harder it becomes to hear it. But you're here, which means something inside you still believes. And that's everything. You don't need supplements that cost a fortune. You don't need to chase your 20-year-old self. What you need is to nourish your current self. Because even in your 50s, 60s, 70s, your body still knows how to heal. It just needs your help. So start simple. Start with what you can control. Your plate, your morning, your mindset. These fruits, pomegranate, blueberry, and watermelon, they're not a cure. They're a beginning. A way to tell your body, I haven't forgotten you. I'm not done showing up for you. And you'll notice it, not just below the belt, but everywhere. Your legs will feel lighter, your breath easier, your mind clearer. The dull aches may soften, the tension may lift. Your hands may not feel so cold, your sleep may deepen. And yes, those quiet moments in the morning, that little pulse of life might return. Because the truth is, circulation is about connection. And when you bring blood flow back, you bring yourself back. And when you bring yourself back, everything changes. So let me ask you something. What will your next morning look like? Will you start it with intention? Will you reach for something that reminds your body it's still alive, still worth nourishing? Or will you skip it, rush it, or forget it altogether, and then wonder why you feel flat by 10 a.m.? The choice isn't between youth and age. The choice is between action and neglect. And neglect is what most older men fall into, not because they don't care, but because no one told them the truth. No one told them how much power still lives in what they eat, how they move, how they show up for themselves. But now you know, and that knowing, that awareness, is a turning point. You can build on it. You can start with one fruit, one bowl, one breath. And from there, something stronger grows. Not a miracle, a momentum. And that momentum can change everything. I've seen it happen time and again. Men who thought their best days were behind them, rediscovering what it feels like to wake up rested, to move through their day with energy, to look at their partner or even themselves in the mirror and see someone strong. Not perfect, not young, but present, awake, alive, and it didn't start with medication. It started with breakfast, with choosing blueberries over bagels, watermelon over toast, pomegranate instead of processed cereal. These small changes, done consistently, send a message your body never stops listening for. I still want to thrive. And let's be honest, this isn't just about erections. It's not even just about intimacy. It's about dignity, about feeling in command of your own body again. When circulation flows freely, when your hormones are balanced, when your nerves are firing with clarity and purpose, everything gets easier. Walking upstairs, standing up from a chair, getting through the day without feeling drained or dull or lost. And more than that, feeling like you belong in your body again, that you didn't fade into the background just because you crossed some invisible line in your 50s or 60s. You haven't missed your chance. And no, it's not too late. Your body doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for presence, for attention, for care. So let's keep this simple. Tomorrow morning, before the day gets ahead of you, give yourself 15 minutes. No distractions, no excuses. Slice open a pomegranate and scoop the seeds into a bowl of yogurt. Drop a handful of blueberries into a smoothie. Cut a wedge of watermelon and sit with it in quiet. Taste it. Chew it slowly. Let your breath match your pace. That moment, that's not just nourishment. That's resistance against decline, against disconnection, against the belief that this part of your life is already behind you. And if the thought still lingers, but I've tried before and nothing changed, I want you to hear this. Lasting change doesn't start with what's on your plate. It starts with how you see yourself. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a system that still wants to work, a body that still wants to feel, a man who still deserves to be vital, respected, and strong. And when you give your body what it was built to receive, real food, real care, real rhythm, it remembers. Not instantly, not dramatically, but surely, quietly, day by day. That's the magic of this approach. No side effects, no rebound crashes, no dependency. Just biology restored, not altered, not overridden, restored. This is how you reclaim your health. This is how you age like a man who's not afraid to keep living fully. And let me say this as clearly as I can. The men who feel the biggest difference aren't the ones who do everything perfectly. They're the ones who begin, who decide, who say yes to themselves and stick with it long enough for their body to respond. So tomorrow, when you reach for your breakfast, I want you to remember this conversation. Not just the facts, but the message that this part of your life is not over, that you still have power, that you still have choice, and that you still matter. This isn't just about fruit. It's about turning your first hour of the day into a declaration, a statement to yourself that you are still here, still capable, still worth showing up for. And maybe, just maybe, someone else in your life will notice the way you move differently, the way you smile, the way you begin to return to the man you've always been. Because when you take care of yourself, when you respect your body with every bite, every breath, every morning routine, you don't just change your day, you change your future. So here's your invitation, not to chase youth, but to claim vitality, not to look backwards, but to step forward with a spoonful of pomegranate, a bowl of blueberries, a slice of watermelon, and a mindset that says, I still get to feel good, I still get to thrive, I still get to be me. Because you do, you really do.